Trucker live stream. Good evening and good morning. It's good to see you today. As always, thank you so much for showing up. So living in the Philippines, is it a reality or just a dream? Well, for many people, it's just a dream or a fantasy. We tend to watch vlogs or we live vicariously through other people and so forth. But to make dreams happen requires action. So you really just have to get off your ass and do something. Sometimes it requires sacrifice, but it does require like a physical act of movement, action. You have to go somewhere. You have to have a vision. You got to move. You have to do it. Otherwise, it's just going to be a pipe dream. There's nothing wrong with dreams, too. I mean, I live vicariously through people myself sometimes. But yeah, I mean, you gotta like sometimes write it out, like write out a plan, and then we can figure out exactly how we're gonna do it, exactly how we're gonna get there. And it doesn't have to be like a complex plan. You can make it really simple. Sometimes we tend to overcomplicate things in life. And that's one of the things I love about the Philippines is the simplicity, okay? The simple life. Good evening, Dutch. Good to see you. Welcome, everybody. Smash that like button. We're going to have a good live stream today. We're feeling good. I'm up here in Idaho, in Pocatello. And if you can believe it or not, there's still snow on top of the mountains, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Let me show you. You guys see the snow? There's little traces of snow. Isn't that cute? Get to the chopper! Okay. Welcome, people. Welcome, people from all over the world. You're at the Captain Trucker live stream. Today, somebody's life is going to change for the better. It could just be one or two people, but I really believe something's going to happen today. I really do. I really believe that the people watching now and the replay, something positive will come from this video. I hope. Hug Hansford, good to see you. Good morning from West Virginia, USA. Living the dream. Hope to be in, it's Sapine. I forgot where that is. Can you remind me? Yes, get to the, I don't know. What's that reference, Snowball? What does that mean? I don't know the reference. Was that a misspelling? Anyway. Well, I want to tell a little story about, well, I'm going to do a video about the first time I went to the Philippines and sort of where I was, and I've been there numerous times. Get to the chopper! Sorry. I'm not going to do that again. Anyway, I have been there many times, okay? But the first time I went was many, many years ago in the 1960s. No, I'm just joking. It was in 2017. Yeah. And that was an interesting, eye-opening experience. Joey Jojo says, inbreeding hillbillies. How cute! Where did that come from? I'm so happy to see you all tonight. I really am. I was about to film a video, but I don't have battery on my GoPro, so I have to charge it before I film a video. And in case you're wondering, there's still snow on top of the mountains in Idaho. I think that's what this that reference was he made. I hope. Hope it wasn't something else. Marks, good to see you. Punk says, in northern Marino Islands in the USA, Commonwealth is 5 hours from the Philippines and 45-minute flight from Guam. Oh my goodness! I didn't know that. Rom says, yo, good to see you too. So Dutch says in 1994, he was towing a fuel badge to Johnston Atoll. Well, that's nice. So I was talking to one of my fellow Filipino vlogger friends, and we have interesting conversations sometimes. He's very ambitious, you know. He wants to build his vlog and, you know, turn it into different stuff in the future and so forth. So we got to have ambitions in life. We got to have goals and stuff. It's kind of true. When you sort of go through life meandering, or without any direction, or without a final destination or goal, you sort of just paddle about in limbo. And you see a lot of that in people. You really do. So, you know, some people have wild ambitions and goals when they're younger, and then as they age, what happens is like life beats you down, and there's forces out there that are trying to prevent you from like being happy or being successful and all that. And the point is you got to break through that. You always got to go back to the beginning. You got to go back to your goals and your dreams that you had as a kid, as a youth, and you got to just do whatever it takes sometimes to do it. And we go through things. Sometimes we accomplish things in roundabout ways in life, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. Hello, Dave. Dave's from Oregon. Good to see you tonight. I got the sun going down in my face. Maybe we'll have some subscribers come on the live stream sometime. That'll be more exciting. Oh, goodness. Gabriel says, please shout out. I'm from the Philippines and I subscribed. Good to have you. Good to have you, sir. Ram is from Bagao City. All right. Oh, man. You know, the first time I went to the Philippines, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know anybody. I didn't have much money. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know what I was walking into. I didn't even really know who I was talking to in general. Well, I kind of did. I kind of just showed up, and I had no money. You hear what I'm telling you? I went to the Philippines the first time as a young man. Well, I'm still a young man, but I was broke, okay? Yeah. And I'm going to do a video, hopefully coming up next, about how I kind of came to the Philippines the first time and why I'm building a house out there right now for my loved ones. Well, mostly my son and his mother. And that's just cute. That's what you got to do in life. I guess you got to build houses. So you got to, like, you know, get a career and work and all that. I mean, I always worked, but I wasn't serious about saving and investing money until, well, you know, you had kids and stuff. Then you got to be like a responsible father. You can't be like some hippie playing drums or being a bodybuilder in an RV and just hanging out in rock and roll studios for your whole life. You can't do that forever. Not forever, just sometimes. Welcome, everybody. Nas, good to see you. He says, are you rich now? No, not at all. Thank you for asking. Well, I mean, if I was rich, do you think I'd be on the internet talking about it? Good Lord. No, I'm not rich, though. I'm a truck driver, man. What do you think? But there's always creative ways to make money in life, okay? And I've said the same thing even living in a poor country, okay? If you live in a poor country, say the Philippines, for instance. I mean, it's not all a poor country. I mean, there's rich people in the Philippines. There's different societies and so forth. But I mean, relative compared to other countries, it's not like Singapore, the US, or Japan. Anyway, so you say a family of 5, right? Living in the province, in poverty, but maybe they have a problem with alcohol or something, or a family of 6 or 7, whatever. You know, a bottle of Red Horse, 1 liter of Red Horse is about 100 pesos right now in the Philippines, okay? That's about $2 US, more or less. Thank you, Dutch, I appreciate that. So, with that 1 bottle of Red Horse a day, because people in poverty, they do fall into like alcohol and addictions and cigarettes and stuff like this, but with that money reinvested into a business, and I did the math on this because I have a compound interest calculator. So 1 bottle of Red Horse a day, $2 a day, compounded over, I think, what was it, 20 years or 25 years, all right? With a 10% compound interest, that comes out to well over, I think, 1 million pesos, all right? And that's over 20,000 US dollars for drinking a bottle of beer every day, basically. So there's always ways, even in poor or less privileged countries or societies, or even here in the US, people living in poverty in the inner cities or something, there's always ways to get out of poverty. There's always ways to make money, all right? It's so true. It really is. I talk about becoming a truck driver, and people think, oh, truck drivers, they don't make a lot of money, which I guess, well, some of them do, some of them don't. But there's an old Japanese or Chinese proverb, I think. This is real earth-shattering stuff, I'm telling you guys. It's not how much you make, it's how much you save. Okay. But not just how much you save, because at some point, you don't just want to be like a cash whore. Sorry for saying whore, it's not really appropriate. But you know, you get past that barrier of poverty and you start saving cash, right? But what do you do with the cash? See, at that point, you got options. What you don't want to do is you don't want to buy some house with an interest rate you can't afford. Don't buy a car, okay? Definitely don't want to do that. Don't develop any strange hobbies. And what you got to do is reinvest that money into like a business or maybe stocks, okay? I'm into like stocks. I just bought Nvidia a couple months ago, and it just went up like 20%. So, you know, good for me. But of course, I didn't buy enough because I don't take huge risk on stocks. The stock market is kind of unpredictable where it's going in the future, they say. That's what they say. I don't know. What do I know? I just know what I read. Well, I know a few things. I'm a pretty basic, straight, and simple type of guy. I'm very practical. I know it works. I know it doesn't. But in terms of the stock market, guys, even if the market's going down, there's always good companies you can find, like Nvidia, for instance. They pretty much cornered the AI market, all right? And you also have like different healthcare stocks. Like I just bought CPRX, all right? I got really good hopes for them in the future. I put a good chunk of money into them, so we'll see what happens. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, pharmaceutical stocks. Yeah, they can be good too, even in like recessions, even when the market's going down. There's always certain companies that you could still get to. So don't believe these people who say like, oh, don't invest in the stock market, we're going to head to a recession. Yeah, that might be true, but there's always individual stocks you can find, different companies that will succeed regardless. I always like Berkshire Hathaway because they've got a pretty good track record, even during the whole COVID thing and so forth. Even UNH, United Healthcare, they did pretty good during the COVID crisis and so forth. So my point is that there's always options. And of course, forget about the stock market. You can invest in businesses and stuff. Like if you want to start like a small business or something, like in the Philippines, all right? But if you're like your average run-of-the-mill Joe retiree, and you're going to try to like open a bar or something like that in the Philippines, and you don't have, say, I'd say, you know, I did a video on this with the owner of the Big Bamboo Beach Resort, okay? Musaf, if you check my videos and go back, he owns the Big Bamboo Beach Resort, and he gives really good advice on starting like a resort and stuff like that. But you do need the capital, like even in the Philippines, you do need still a substantial amount of capital. Location, all right? I've known people that run bars, okay? I don't encourage bars. I think bars are a really bad idea. Bars attract a lot of drama, okay? They really do, folks. And there's a lot of stipulations that come with that, especially as a foreigner, because you are selling like alcohol. You got to deal with bar fights. And if you're renting, there's usually nothing to stop the bar owners, the owners of the bar, from raising the price, okay? So even if you're renting a bar, so say the bar owner, the property owner sees that the bar is successful, there's nothing to stop him from raising the price on the foreigner who's renting. But anyway, I don't like bars. I don't recommend them. Lots of drama. A lot of guys just do it because they want to be like the cool guy in the neighborhood. They want to be the bar owner. And I get that, but there's going to be a lot of drama that can come with that, okay? I did a video on this. I've known people that have done it. Be very cautious. Now, if you have to do a bar thing, what you want to do is have a resort, okay? Resorts are a much better option if you have the capital. But anyway, other than that, you can always do like a Sari Sari store and sell peanuts, and you can sell balut, and you can sell little trinkets and stuff if you just need to sustain your income with you and your Filipino wife. So there's different options there. All right, let's read some comments. Thank you, Dutch. BLM says, I don't know that reference, sir. Nas says, I got to ask you about the SR visa in the Philippines. Yeah, I know a little bit about that. I don't have my notes on it, so I don't want to talk about it and say something wrong. But there's a lot of good resources on that. Yeah. See, but I'm still young, so I'm comfortable. I like to go in and out of the Philippines, you know, because even staying there like long term on a visa, like even as a tourist, I mean, look, you can be in the Philippines for up to 3 years, I think, right now. That changes sometimes as a tourist, okay, just simply on a tourist visa. And you can keep extending that. But all you got to do is, like, you know, maybe every 3 years you take a trip to like Indonesia, or you go to Thailand, or you go to Guam, and then you can come re-enter the country again and hang out for another 3 years, basically. So there's that. Dutch says, that Saints from the Netherlands. I got cheap relatives. All right. You got a great mind, brother. Thank you, Nas. I appreciate that. Mang Kenor says, buy war stocks like LMT. I don't know that one. I'll look that up. Bella, good to see you. Hello. You marry a Filipino wife. She says, I'm Filipino too. Oh, that's good. Drive a Million says, you need a unique business to stand out from the rest. Well, that's that whole thing of, you know, competition, having your own niche and whatever. It's the same in business, right? Dutch says bars are great for eliminating the ravages of intelligence. Yeah, right. I don't know. Yeah, the Philippines is beautiful, Bella. It really is. But yeah, dream versus reality. So why do things seem so out of touch? Why is everything such a hard thing to imagine, to accomplish in life or to do? Even like basic things, like, you know, for a lot of people, moving, even traveling is a big deal, you know? I suppose we're creatures of habit, as they say. So when you start to, well, that's really what it is. I think mostly people are creatures of habit, but yeah, you can break through that. That's the whole point of traveling, is that you grow. You have to force yourself out of your comfort zone. You have to force yourself to do things you wouldn't normally do. That's how we grow as people. And some of the best education in life is travel in itself. It really is. Because there's something it does, the environment, the vibe, the energy. It keeps your brain sharp. It makes you more sponge-like to learn new things, to learn about other people, to appreciate other people. And those are like the most beautiful things, especially as that we need as people, that we need as Americans to, well, really to make the world a better place. I don't mean to sound cheesy, but it's true. Because when we have a better appreciation of other people, other cultures, we tend to point the finger less, you know. We always have this us versus them mentality in life. So, you know, groups of people, countries, families even, they're always looking for scapegoats and black sheeps and so forth. And we got to kind of like come together more, because the truth is that, you know, even like us Filipino, foreign vloggers, we're always, you know, we talk about the Philippines and like, oh, Filipino women and dating women and stuff, like it's almost a foreign entity, but it's really, it's like, at the end of the day, like everybody's, you know, we're all the same. We're all human. We all run on the basic psychologies. We have the basic desires. Whatever you want to call it. Was it Erickson or Maslow's laws? Well, I forget. But anyway, the point I'm making is at the core of it, we all have the same desires, wants, and needs. Okay. But yeah, there is like cultural differences. Now, the cultural thing is a very real thing. Okay, there is cultural differences in groups. That's true. But at the core of it, we're pretty much all the same. Bay 510 says magic in Asia. I don't know what that means. Are you hitting on me? I don't understand that reference. I stayed in the East Bay for a long time. That's where I met my first Filipino girlfriend, as a matter of fact. It was when I was living in the East Bay. Yeah, that was a good time. We had a good life together. She's who introduced me to the Filipino culture, man. That was awesome. And she was 10 years older than me. So there you go. It was like a reverse age gap of what we typically see, right? Oh. Yeah, I'm good on that, 510. You got to tone that down. I don't want to kick you off the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you, though. Thank you for the thought. Bay says you can have any women in Asia. Well, thank you. I mean, I wouldn't say that's true, Bay 510, but I appreciate that. I mean, it's not, the whole thing about, getting women, getting chicks. I kind of, as you mature in life, I mean, I'm like 40 plus years old now. That's not really at the top of my list, but it's always nice to be wanted, I guess. Bella says, well, you can, maybe. That says, do they still call Oakland Croakland? They did when I was up in Fairmont. It's possible. Is the lighting good, guys? I know there's light coming in here, but can you see my eyes and stuff? Because I can't tell. It's too dark. Drive a Million says, keep in mind, if you start a store in a community, it's going to be like you're working 9 to 5 again. You have to get up in the morning and stay there all day. The community will depend on you to be there. Yeah, of course. But I think the idea is that, well, first of all, this whole retirement thing, I mean, the concept of retirement is kind of I don't know, I don't get it. It's like an end game. It's more like changing your life, right? Because even as a quote-unquote retiree, you still need income unless you develop like a huge amount of savings or something. You're still going to need income, and you're still going to, and work's like a good thing, man. Like, work keeps people connected. It keeps them engaged. It keeps them alive for some people, like the mind and so forth. So work is actually a good thing. I just turned over 40, so I'm approaching 65 years old, Bella. Can you believe it? Yeah. I managed to keep all my hair and I'm 65 years old. Oh, God. Hold on. Let me get this right. I gotta comb my hair. All right. What else do we got going on? So I'm in Idaho, okay? And there's still snow on top of the mountains, if you can believe it. That's a true story. I was so happy. My son who's Filipino, he sent me a video today, and he's wearing the hat that I used to wear, that I still wear. And he says, my son told me on the video, he goes, I want to be like my dad, Captain Trucker. And I was like, that's so sweet. That's just like the nicest thing. And then he asked me to buy him a bicycle. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't do that for like, he's not, he's not old enough to be manipulative. He asked me for the bicycle before he made the video. Anyway, give me 1 second. I gotta grab a tangerine. Give me 1 second. Get to the chopper! All right. Okay. I got some apple juice. No sugar. I started improving my diet lately. Man, I gotta comb my hair and stuff, dude. Hold on a second. Oh, my son, he's young. My son is like, well, if I'm 65, he's like 20 or something. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm in Idaho. You guys want to... There's still snow on top of the mountains. Check this out. Well, no, you can't see it. Actually, it's the other mountains. But there's still little speckles of snow, if you can see it. Bay 510 says I look awesome for 65. Thanks. I was just joking, by the way. I'm not 65. I appreciate that thought, though. Yeah, that whole vanity thing, the physical vanity, it kind of does wear off with age. I mean, it's nice to, like, you want to stay in shape, obviously. I'm a big promoter of, like, physical health, fitness. I've run marathons before. I'm really into, like, lifting weights, you know, running marathons. And it's not currently, but I keep my runs about 3 to 5 miles these days. Because I kind of have a big upper body, so I wasn't really equipped to like be a fast marathon runner. But I have run 26-mile marathons, in fact. Some in Northern California Bay. Stinson Beach, as a matter of fact. It was one of the most difficult mountain races, supposedly, in the U.S. Yeah, that was a trip. And I didn't have any money at the time, of course, and I was in love with my Filipina girlfriend, who was 10 years older than me. And she was like had a career and stuff, so she had like much more money than me. And, well, she paid all the bills and stuff. But anyway, so we drove to the marathon, and she thought that, you know, I wasn't going to be able to finish it. But she knew that I didn't want to hear her say that, of course. But I did. But on mile 6, we get to the top of the mountain and we're sprinting downhill. This is a true story, right? And I got like an adrenaline rush. I got excited. I started like sprinting too fast and I was running downhill. And I just got too cocky. I got too carried away. I ran too fast and I learned from it. I learned not to do that again. Because it was a mountain race, so there was like it was a really narrow trails and rocks and all sorts of shit. And man, I ripped my ankle, like the tendons on this rock, and just I heard it crunch. Okay, and this was mile 6. Now I had 20 miles left on the marathon, and I kept going and going, and by mile 18, you know, it was pretty swollen and stuff. But I was able to get some like medicine, and I had a little drink because I had a couple shots on me during the marathon, because in like Europe they used to drink wine during marathons, and I wasn't a big drinker. I'm still not a big drinker, but I had a couple shots at the top of the mountain on mile 18, and it really it just absorbed right away, and it kind of helped kill the pain. And so the next 8 miles was kind of a breeze. But anyway, the next day my foot was swollen like a softball. It was ridiculous. But anyway, it healed. It took a couple weeks. I got better. That's a bit off topic. But anyway, welcome to the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. It's Captain Trucker. Thank you so much for tuning in. Whoever's out there, please click that like button. We're doing earth-shattering material today, everybody. Somebody's life is going to change for the better. I feel it. I feel something special happening. I can't quite define it, but I know something positive is going to happen today, okay? From this live stream, somebody's life will get better, okay? Never give up on your dreams, okay? You all had dreams when you were younger. You had fantasies, you had thoughts, you had visions, okay? Never forget that stuff, okay? Because yeah, we got to be realistic in life, but there's always opportunities to do different things, okay? People accomplish all sorts of things in life that, you know, they never thought they could have done it and stuff. Whether it's getting out of poverty or making a movie or running a marathon, you can do all these things. I really believe that. I really believe every single person here watching will accomplish something significant, okay? Everybody has a story. Everybody's unique. Every single person, every single subscriber matters. And I'm so grateful for all you guys. I'm grateful for the people that watch the channel and for keeping me company this past 6 months, 8 months on the road, because you've helped me. You've helped me as a person, you know, remember more who I am and remember my goals and motivate me and give me ambition and stuff. And that's why I'm so grateful for all the commenters and subscribers. And I mean that, and I thank you all for that very much. And we're going to keep growing the channel. And when I go back to the Philippines this time, I'm going to try to do a better tour. I want to go to different places that are less, what do you call it? I guess less toured, if you will. If that's the right way to put it. But anyway, Purple's here. Good to see you. Hey, I turned on your blog, by the way. I was looking at your videos. I couldn't see you, though. I don't know if you were you're not in your videos, Purple. I don't know. Mong says, how are your knees for Monday? They're fine. My knees are fine. I try to keep on the treadmill, because the treadmill is more like a metronome, which I like. I like the metronome thing. Joe Bond says, have you been, Captain Trucker? I've been good, man. I mean, you know, life is not a consistent flow of euphoria and happiness. We go through valleys. We have peaks. Everybody does. Don't believe those people that say they're always happy. You know, like when people say that, I get kind of skeptical. Well, maybe I'm just jealous. I don't know. But, you know, when you meet people that say like they're never sad, they're always happy. It's like, how's that even possible? I mean, there's like suffering going on in the world, dude. Like, how can you be happy when somebody next to you is suffering, or when you're witnessing somebody depressed in poverty or somebody with health issues? Like, it seems like it would be kind of selfish to just be happy all the time, right? So, you know, we go through ups and downs in life, and that's normal too. Don't think that there's anything wrong with you for that. And don't think that there's always hope. There's always stuff you can do. There's always people you can talk to. You can talk to me, all right? I mean, sometimes I'm not in the greatest of moods, but that's okay, because sometimes we can be in good moods. Oh, goodness. Hold on. Layla, good to see you. Leia, safe travels. Thank you. Hold on a second. RK says, what are you doing in the Philippines? Well, I've been to the Philippines, I think 14 or 15 times now for extended periods. Well, I mean, I kind of live out there part-time, unofficially. No, not really. I shouldn't say that. I don't know. It's complicated, but I'm a traveler. So, you know, expats, there's a notion that you have to be in like one spot, but you can live in multiple countries. You can work in different countries. That falls in the criteria as well. And I'm a traveler, man. I got to go places. I can't stay still. You know, so, yeah, I like going places. I like doing stuff. Bella, thanks for the jokes. No, I'm not trying not to take it that way, Mong. I think she's just being endearing and funny, but see, I can't take things too seriously. It's one of the things I've learned from you all in this channel as well. Not to take things too seriously, which is why I'm kind of going back to my roots. I mean, I'm getting back into more comedy. I started off in comedy, like with public access TV when I was a teenager. It was kind of my love. It was my passion. Like I like to make people laugh. I like to have a good time. I enjoy the joy of humor and laughter and bringing light to people's days, through humor. Because life's serious, man. Like life can be hard, and it's, and what I was saying is what I've learned on this channel is I got to stop taking things so seriously, and it's kind of reminding me to go back to my roots, and since recently I've kind of been doing more like comedy stuff, just in terms of tone and vibe, I've enjoyed the videos more, because I don't know if how long people have been watching my channel, but early on, I say early on like it was decades ago, during the Renaissance period. No, I'm saying I was a bit more serious, because some of that was I hadn't been on social media like in my life, really. Like I never had Facebook or really stuff like that, so I didn't really know how to approach it. And I kind of being a father in the Philippines, I was aware that there was a lot of stuff going on in the Philippines that I didn't, from foreigners. I mean, stuff that foreigners do in the Philippines that's not so appropriate. You know what I mean? That's unethical sometimes and stuff, and it kind of had an impact on me because I'd never been to a country like that, and I'd never seen sort of stuff like that in your face. And so I just kind of felt compelled for a while to kind of talk about serious subjects and stuff. But, at the end of the day, I'm not a preacher. I'm not up here in a pulpit. We've all made mistakes in life. None of us have lived perfect lives. And, we can't change people. The only thing that we can do is just set the best example and try to inspire other people by the way we live, by thinking about other people, by using each day like it's appreciating every moment, every day you can. I mean, it's so easy. All of us here, everybody watching, we can get caught up, and life's stressful, man. Like life's hard. Now I'm inside of a truck. I'm in a semi-truck breakfast, but life's hard. And what I was saying is when you start getting older and aging, you can tend to take stuff too seriously, right? And what I was saying is what I've learned from the subscribers and being on YouTube is that I got to stop. I've learned slowly over the course of these months to kind of go back to my roots of, more comedy and stuff, because it's more therapeutic. And being too serious is like, it's not for me, dude. Like I said, I'm not a preacher. I'm not a politician. So, if we can just try to make people laugh, give them some good information, I mean, what more can we ask for, right? Okay, let's read some comments. John Diego, hey, thanks for that comment, John. He says, God bless you, Captain Trucker Pinoy. You'll have a better life. Just be patient, because great things come to life when you patiently wait. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, like patience and discipline and positivity is a very real thing. I mean, it really is. It's very true. I really think that things come together at the right times. And maybe sometimes, like I was telling my vlogger friend, who's very ambitious and he wants to have a big channel, and he will have a big channel. And hopefully I think mine will be big too one day, on some level. I mean, I'm not doing this for the numbers, but I told him, I said, just enjoy the process, and you'll hit your goals in life, but try to enjoy it. Just try to help the people around you as much as you can. That's the most important thing. All right, I got off course, sorry. Joe Bond's here. She says, can you color your hair darker? You know, someone else said that to me too. I don't dye my hair. Or you mean like that? Oh, you mean make it dark? I don't know. I'm over 40, Purple. Bella says hello again. Yeah, Dutch says something interesting. Dutch is saying the older you get, the more you value each day. Yeah, man, I could totally appreciate that. I could see that. And there's nothing we can do about the past, okay? It's so true. I mean, you can do that whole thing where you know, oh, I wish I did this and that, and you got the whole regret thing going, but what does that do? It does nothing, you know? I mean, there's nothing we can do. Like, time's a perpetual motion. It's always moving forward. People change in life and stuff happens, you know? So we can only change today, really. It's true. That's very true. Give me 1 second. I got to grab a tangerine. I'm really getting into eating tangerines lately. It's one of my things. Hold on a second. Purple says wear a dress shirt while you're driving the truck. Yeah, it's important that, you know, we look good in our vanity while driving a truck. No, I mean, yeah, that's funny. Actually, I do. I wear these collared shirts. But that's just something I've always done. You know? So how you all doing? Are you all having a good time tonight? How's the audience feeling? Anybody have any thoughts? Anything they'd like to share? Anything they need help with? It's the right moment to ask. I'm here for you. I won't turn my back on you. Well, that whole thing about not turning your back on people, you don't really want to take too much shit from people either, because people will kind of put a lot on you if you let them. That's something else I've learned in life. Because I was always the type of person, like, I would hang out and talk to anybody, whether they were a CEO at a company, the priest, the criminal, the janitor on the street, somebody with special needs. I mean, I really did kind of hang out and treat people and give them the same weight, the same time of day, the same of me with anyone. And, you know, sometimes we do have to have boundaries, though, because, you know, people can have issues, man, and life's hard. And it's really not for us or anybody to take on, you know, we're not like here to take on the issues of man, so to speak. That's for God. So, yeah, surround yourself with positive people. That's true, too. Yeah! Oh, goodness gracious. Welcome to the live stream, people. Welcome to the Captain Trucker live stream. So when did you all start watching the channel? Are you like new to the channel? Have you been around for a while? Anybody that's been watching from the beginning? I'm just curious. Oh. Okay, sorry. Okay, Purple says, I talk to all kinds of people. Some are crazy and some are delusional. Yeah, well, I mean, some of that can be relative too, right? I mean, they said Arnold Schwarzenegger was crazy for being a bodybuilder and wanted to get into acting. They said, you know, his parents, when he was a kid, thought he was crazy for wanting to be a bodybuilder. They thought that there was something wrong with him because after the World War, the Austrians, the Germans, life was hard. They were very serious, and noble professions were becoming like a policeman. And Arnold Schwarzenegger had men all over his wall, bodybuilders, and he was like lifting weights all day. And his parents thought he was like weird or something. And then he went on to be like, world champion bodybuilder. Then he became like an actor. I don't know why I put the sunglasses on. Sorry. And then he became one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. And his agents at the time said to him, like, forget it. You're crazy. You got a weird body. You're way too big. None of the leading men look like Hercules. You got a weird last name, Schwarzenschnitzel or whatever. That's what he said. Just forget it. And then he became like the highest paid action movie hero, maybe of all time. And he did the same thing going into politics. You guys remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger ran for governor in California? They gave him all sorts of crap. And he dominated that. I think he did a decent job. I really don't know what to gauge that on, but I'm assuming he did. But the point is, don't let people keep you down, man. And it's the same with moving out to the Philippines. Like, if you have a dream of, because people have gone through stuff in life. They've gone through like highs and lows. They've been through tragedies, divorces, bankruptcies. They've been through ups and downs in life by the time they're retired, and they want to move out to the Philippines and change their life. And a lot of people are telling them not to do it, that it's a bad idea. And they got all sorts of negative stuff to say about Filipinos, but there's a lot of people that do very well, and they've rediscovered themselves in these countries. The Filipinos give men a second chance at life, okay? That's one of the beautiful things about the Filipino people and their culture is they'll give you a second chance. They'll treat you like a decent person. They'll give you opportunities. You can meet a woman. You can do things. Just don't mess it up, So, and don't let these naysayers or these people telling you can't move to the Philippines because of this and that, blah, blah, blah. Don't get into that crap. And if you're scared, I can meet you at the airport. There's other vloggers you can talk to. There's other expat support groups. Like, you're not alone. See, when I went to the Philippines myself, okay, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know any expats. I had no Filipino friends. I had no money. So for me, it was a really different course of discovery and a long haul. But it doesn't have to be, the point I'm making is like there's always people there for you. So okay. Patrick Manley says, what is your life back in the States? What's my life? What is your life back in the you mean what's my life like? Well, I've been working, I'm stacking up more money. I'm building a house right now in the Philippines, and even in the Philippines, it's still a good amount of cash. So it does cost quite a bit of cash, and I like cash. Who doesn't like more cash? So I'm sitting here stacking up more cash. Working, trying to be positive, trying to make the most of it. But I would like to get into films in the Philippines. I would like to. I'm thinking about. I got some ideas, and I would like to get involved, maybe, possibly like the Filipino film circuit and stuff like that. So that I got different goals in the future and stuff. You know, Hollywood's very, I don't know, it's extremely, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of distractions. See, I've always liked the idea of making films or being in, like, independent films and stuff like that. It's much more appealing to me. And, you know, I love the opportunities. So, anyway, I'm getting off topic here, but Audrey, what's up? My niece is here. My niece from California. One of my youngest sisters, and I have like 15 brothers and sisters. My niece Audrey is here, and I gotta say, she is beautiful and smart, just like my younger sister, Jessica, who I love, who I just went to her wedding in Mexico. Well, not just one, it was like 10 years ago, but I'm just joking. It was like 3 years ago. But we had a really good time, and it was really good to see family. I got to see a lot of my siblings. That was a really, really good time. And yeah, Audrey, she reminds me so much of my sister. And my sister's hilarious. I love my sister Jessica's sense of humor. I really do. We got our humor so much in common. We really do. And Audrey, tell her to watch that video that I told her about. I don't think she's watched it yet. Because, you know, my sister works very hard. She works, like, a lot. She just graduated from college. She's got 3 kids. So I'm very proud of my younger sister. She's very, she really, and speaking of inspiration and people that, there's always change. My sister with 3 kids, okay, working full-time, and her husband working full-time, went to college in her 30s, okay, and she just graduated. That's a lot of work, dude, okay? So, you know, I was really proud of her for that. So send her my best, Audrey. Absolutely. So welcome to the live stream, folks, ladies and gentlemen, the Captain Trucker live stream. We're here talking about moving to the Philippines, and not just being in a dream or living vicariously through people, but actually making things happen. Making things happen and remembering who you are. Never forget who you are, okay? You got to go back to the beginning sometimes. Okay? Always remember who you are. All right. And anything's possible. That's the beauty. Sorry for my hair. I tried to comb it. Driver B, good to see you. I recently found your channel. Are you a truck driver? Are you a truck driver, sir? How long have you guys been watching the channel for those in there right now? Has anybody been in here since the beginning? I'm just curious. Purple says, I saw your twin brother here. Who's my twin brother? Please explain the reference, Purple. I must know what you're talking about. Jeremy says I'm a truck driver, but I comb my hair. Yeah, sorry, dude. Let me get the comb out. I gotta get my comb. So you got a brush. I gotta comb my hair. Jeremy's giving me crap for not combing my hair. Oh, God. Whew. No, I'm in a semi-truck. I'm in a tractor-trailer, JC. Louis, well, today's going to be a good day for you, sir. He says he just showed up on us just now. Purple, who's my twin brother? Can you tell me that? I'm just curious. I got to figure that one out. Oh, Driver B says I'm OTR as well, and he's been back and forth to the Philippines. Okay, so it sounds like we're sort of in a similar dynamic. Glad to know there's other people. Minavera Hernandez, good to see you. She says I'm new here. Yeah, purple. I don't know who you're referring to. Who's my look-alike twin? I don't. You got to be more specific. I don't know what that means. Jessica's here. Well, see, JC says something interesting. He says, I'm Filipino, but I don't like the Pinoys not having a sense of urgency. Well, here's the thing, and this is just my perspective, my humble perspective as a foreigner. So, the Filipinos that I've known, ones that have acclimated to the West or like the United States and so forth, some of them, not all of them. I mean, the lifestyle is obviously different, the culture's different. I mean, the Philippines is not like an industrial, hardcore society. It's so competitive that it is like in America, in a West, where we'll do anything to be successful, including, leaving our brothers and sisters on the streets or putting our parents in a nursing home if we don't want to deal with them. Like the Filipinos really do, I think, put family first before work, okay? Now, there's some what do you call it, consequences to that, because you may not be like rich necessarily or spend your whole life working, but I think the irony is that the Filipinos get it. They get it because the fact is the family bonds are much stronger, JC, and the mental health is much better in that country than it is like in the West or like the US and stuff. America has a severe mental health crisis, quote unquote, but a lot of it is self-created in the sense that it's due to the culture, the way we live, our values, the way we put ourselves in debt, the way we have to keep up with the Joneses and work so hard to spend the money to live in the nice neighborhoods, and on and on and on and on. And people have interest debt and so forth. People don't have time to visit their kids because they're spending all their time working, okay? Now, yes, compared to the Americans, JC, your culture, they may not be as bloodthirsty for work. In my humble opinion, I do think they're mentally healthier, and I think that they actually, the irony is, I think a lot of Filipinos in a poor country actually live better lives than a lot of the middle class here in America, okay? I mean that sincerely. And I've said that because, yeah, it's materialism, Ako Lolo. And I've done videos on materialism and stuff like that. It's a very real thing. And it's, for most of us, it's just a concept like, oh, materialism. But we don't realize how deeply embedded. We don't realize how serious it is, how much we value it, like in America and stuff. How much we sacrifice our lives and time to acquire certain lifestyles of status and comfort, that at the end of the day, a lot of it, some of it, is in fact just material, okay? So that's something that we got to keep in mind. So does the Filipino working culture have the same sense of urgency, JC, as like Americans or Englishmen or Germans? Probably not. But like I said, I think overall, I think they're better off in terms of quality of life and in terms of mental health. I really do. Generally speaking, I mean, this is a very broad sweeping brush, but we're comparing like, the East and the West and not all the East. I mean, Japan, Singapore, totally different societies and everything, but I'm just generally speaking here, so that's my take on that, JC. So welcome to the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. It's yours truly, Captain Trucker. So glad to have you all here tonight. Smash that like button if you could. We're going to grow this channel over time. We're going to go on this journey together. And we're going to do good things eventually. Well, we're going to do good things right now. We're going to do bigger good things in the future. With your help, with us together. Get to the chopper! Don't say that again. You're out of line. No, just joking. There's a guy over there in the corner. He's like holding up a sign telling me to F off. No, I'm just joking. He didn't do that. You got to stay positive no matter what. You can get into, you know, all sorts of stuff. This life, especially in America, dude, you can go to, especially like, you know, even in California, Florida, I mean, there's some freaking strange people, dude. I mean, you see so many of the what's the word? The results of broken societies. You see so much of the results of people in broken societies and broken families end up on the streets because of different issues, and you see a lot of them in California, especially up in the Bay Area, I would say, or you know, Skid Row in Los Angeles, parts of San Francisco, East Bay, of course, and parts of Florida. Yeah, thanks, Bay. I appreciate that. I told people that I was 65 years old, and he seems to think that. But yeah, I mean, people. This is why I'm so keen in trying to emphasize that people really have to travel. Okay, I mean to sound cliche, but there's so much to learn from it. There's so much to learn from going to countries and spending a lot of time, like in Africa or the Philippines, and not just because, oh, look how much that we have compared to them. See, that's the part that we get wrong. And that's that propaganda brainwashing stuff. That's the part we're missing. See, because we're so materialistic to the core that it's always stuff. It's always like, look how much we have. But it's always material, you know? And you look at infrastructure. Like, every infrastructure is like old men, retirees. I mean, you're really going to be like in your 60s and 70s and 80s going like, oh, my biggest regret in life is I didn't live in a country with better roads and better quality buildings and internet connection. No, man, you're going to be like, I want to spend more time with my family, the community, inspiring people, living out my dreams, and being a positive influence. Material is so overrated. So this is why you can't just take a vacation, all right? So 2 weeks, a month doesn't do it. You got to go to countries in Africa or the Philippines or other countries for like a couple of years at least, okay? And if you have to do it broke, go do it. But I promise you, in the long run, it will make you a better human being. I really believe that, especially if you're American. I really do. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta grab a tangerine. I love these tangerines. I really get off on eating them. Oh man, I just lost my toothbrush. I went to the, I forgot where I was. Anyway, I left my toothbrush in the shower at the truck stop. So I had to go buy a toothbrush at like a Chevron across the street. So I got into like baking soda and hydrogen peroxide because it whitens your teeth. I got the light in my teeth so they actually look whiter than they really are. But anyway, that's beside the point. Anyway, oh goodness. Ako Lolo says, I see the broken society every day. Work for the country and a public transportation. It's crazy. Yeah, I know it is. Well, the key is you got to find a way to save the money. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to check something. It might disconnect. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Whew. So yeah, folks, let's stop living in dream worlds. Let's stop living in fantasies. Let's start making things happen. Let's cut through the bullshit. You get to a point in life and you're like, you know what, I'm tired of the bullshit. And you got to start making things happen. That's just the way it goes. And together we're going to do it because you guys encourage me. And we're going to encourage each other to do it. All right? And that's it. Well, anybody watching, what are your goals? Is anybody in here, is there anything you want to do? Anybody here that wants to move to the Philippines? You've never been to the Philippines? Send me a comment. You're welcome, Louie. You have a good day. I want you to remember this forever. All right? You take care. And come back soon, please. I wasn't saying that like I was never going to see you again. I'll see you soon. Yeah, that's right, Purple. No more bullshit. Come on, Cohagen, give these people ear. Come on, don't bullshit me. Arnold Schwarzenegger in Total Recall. I love it. I love it. Frank says, I plan to move to the Philippines this November from Southwest Florida. Have you been there before, Frank? Oko Lolo says, I want to move to Eastern Smyrna. Hold on. I got to plug in my phone. It's about to, battery's about to go out. He was there last year. He loved it. Retirement's coming. Well, that's awesome. Travel Cebu says, what part of the Philippines do you go, Cebu? I mean, I've been to Cebu. I drove a motorcycle from like, where did I drive it from? Kind of down to Oslo, I think it's called. I went there, I think the second time I was in the Philippines. And yeah, it was cool. I think I've been there 2 or 3 times, I forgot. Oh, yeah, okay. So last year I was in Bantayan, which is an island just north of Cebu. Now, for anybody who's never been to Bantayan Island, just north of Cebu, highly underrated, very beautiful. It's got a good balance. It's not totally overrun with tourists. There's some tourists, but it's a pretty chill place. You know, it's not like a chaotic beach scene or frenzy. You got really good beaches there. There's a beach called Virgin Beach in Bantayan Island, just north of Cebu. It's epic. I mean, it's just so nice. I love beaches, man. I have to be on beaches. I have to be in water. I spent, you know, a lot of time at the different beaches, but you know, I was in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. I actually stayed there for like 5 months at one point. And but anyway, the beaches in the Philippines are so awesome, you know, like they're so unique. All these tropical places have like unique beaches, like in El Nido, for instance, like Nakpon Beach. And of course, if you take the boat tours in El Nido, man, it's like really nice. I love those boat tours. You got like Helicopter Island, and where are those other places? I forget some of the names, but But anyway, the boat tours in El Nido are epic. And there's even some nice beaches just north of Puerto Princesa as well. So, and of course in Negros Occidental, 5 hours south of Bacolod, you got Sapale, and you have Sugar Beach. Epic, very nice. I got a bunch of videos there if you guys go on the channel back in time. So, very good stuff there. You know, I'm carrying like a hazmat load. I'm actually taking I'm transporting hazardous materials at this time. I'm in this truck stop in Idaho. You guys see the mountains? Okay, so to the mountains to the left of me, I'm going to show you. There's still snow. Well, you can't see it, but there's snow on top of the mountains still. Isn't that crazy? It's practically summertime and there's still snow on top of the mountains, folks. Those are all the trailers in front of me. Yeah. Akololo says, I'm in Southern California. Which part? I lived down there for a number of years. I liked it down there. I'm just reading some of the comments. Oh, what a day. What a day. What a live stream. I was so glad we're doing this live stream today. You guys just put me in a good mood. You lift my spirits. I'm so grateful. It's like Thanksgiving today. This is my tangerine. See it? See this tangerine? Anyway, anybody have any questions? Is there anything we need to talk about? Please send them in right now. It's a good time to ask questions for guidance, for hope, for inspiration. Right now is a good moment. In the next hour, I can't tell you, but right now is good. Joban says, I was in the Philippines and I swear 2013 is not coming back, but I keep coming back every 6 months. Yes. And he's in San Bernardino County. Trace says, everybody hit the like button for the video. Join the chat. Yeah, thanks, Trace. I appreciate that. So I've been on the road for like 11 weeks, I think. Maybe 12 weeks? I don't remember. Oh, anyway. Wow. Purple wants to know if I'm driving to Canada. No, I drove from Where did I drive from? I think Omaha, Nebraska to Pocatello, Idaho. So I'm currently in Pocatello, Idaho. Yeah. And the drive up here around Pocatello is very beautiful. I love the mountains. I really do. I'm chewing gum, actually. Sorry. Get rid of this gum. I ate a tangerine earlier. All right, I'm not chewing gum anymore. Yeah, I like to zone out. I'm good at that. It's one of my specialties. Okay, here we go. Trace asked, when am I anticipating going back to the Philippines? It depends. I mean, it could be very soon. It could be soon, maybe tomorrow, or maybe a month, maybe 2 months, next week. I don't know. I got to figure it out. But eventually. Making some cash right now. Give me one moment. Frank says, I would think zoning out is not safe for a trucker or anyone driving. Well, that's true, Frank. Well, at this moment, I'm not driving. However, there is a phenomenon called highway hypnosis. I don't know if you've seen it, Frank, or read about it. It's kind of an interesting phenomenon. But it's something that truck drivers can experience that actually helps them with their job. They can drive for 500-600 miles, and part of their mind is actively aware of the present moment in the safety sensitive situation of the job, but the other part of their mind is off, in thoughts, or other part of their mind is doing other things, if you will, disassociated, writing poetry, doing philosophy, doing math equations, and the driver ends up at the end of like 600 miles or whatever, and they don't even know what state they're in. Well, they know where they are. They followed the GPS, but yeah, it's called highway hypnosis. Something that interests me. Oh man. He says, they say people, Akko says there's people that zone it out, has a higher IQ. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, but I'm not sure how that works, actually. Joe Bond says, is that a movie, Highway Hypnosis? I'm not sure. That would be a good title for a movie, though, wouldn't it? I should probably write that script. Actually, well, writing scripts is a whole different thing, but I could write the premise and have somebody else write the script. Yeah, Frank says, highway hypnosis has happened to me. I arrive at a destination and forgot how I got there. Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm talking about. And it's not like a bad thing. It's that the fact is like long haul truck drivers, I mean, the job itself is so demanding and just so, I mean, most people can't do it. So, because it's just so demanding and it requires so much, if you're actively just thinking about the road and analyzing everything around you, you won't make it. So you gotta find ways to occupy your mind and so forth, or to disconnect in some ways. Yeah, that's true. But in a productive way, you know. So. Well, anyway, what am I doing? What are we doing right now? Oh, what time is it? Folks, what time is it? Whew. Yeah, so about retirement, I mean, you know, a lot of people always talk about money, right? And budgets for living in the Philippines and so forth. And I'm going to read this really quick, actually, because I took some notes from my own experience, and with the help of artificial intelligence, I did find some budgets of varying price ranges that I think is actually, I agree with. But the point is that, you know, you can survive as a foreigner, and this is just for monthly expenses, and live in the Philippines on a range of budgets. You know, it's like not one size fits all. So you can go from like as low as, and I would not recommend this, but it's possible to do like $800 a month, and I would say the sweet spot would be about $2,000, and you know, $2,600 and up. But yeah, you can live different lifestyles for that variety, and I took some notes to break it down. I'm going to read them really quick because I know this is really exciting material for you all to hear. Give me 1 second. Oh, how's my battery? I might lose battery on my tablet. Hold on. Oh man, I can't open my tablet. The battery went on my tablet, sorry. But yeah, the point is like, for monthly expenses in the Philippines, I mean, yeah, you can go as low as $800, and I would say, like I said, the sweet spot for most retirees, I would recommend at least $2,000. There's like stories of people that have moved out there with as little as 7,000 US dollars. I heard this story. I don't know if it's true, but this is what I've heard. This guy moved to the Philippines with 7,000 US dollars. A 60-plus-year-old, thinking that he could live and sustain off that, apparently. And of course, when things didn't work out, he had to go back to the US. He turned around and blamed vloggers for giving him the false impression he could live for 7,000 US dollars in the Philippines indefinitely. Now, I've never said such a thing. I've never heard anybody else say such a thing, so I'm not sure where that man got that info from. The most important thing is to have, obviously, a monthly income Social Security, 401k, pension. I mean, for your monthly expenses, yeah, you can go as low as $1,000 up to $2,500 plus. But obviously rent and housing is one of the biggest ones. So if you can find a way to build a house for your Filipino wife or something, or your kids, I mean, that takes away a huge expense. And you obviously want money for emergencies and so forth. You want to make sure you have health insurance, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, there's not one size fits all. I mean, you can live in, if you're a city guy, live in like Makati in Manila in an upscale condo, or live in a more simple life out in the provinces of the countries. Obviously, that's less money, so the budgets do vary. Okay. Like all societies, you have different styles of living and so forth. But a lot of the disillusion, a lot of the mistakes that retirees make is they think they can like live like a king, you know, off their Social Security and so forth, because, well, you can't do that off your Social Security. Live like a material king, you know, because like a lot of times, you know, not a lot of times, but sometimes retirees, yeah, they have like the wrong impression. They've never been to like this country or types of other countries, and they overvalue the stretchiness of their dollar. And the point is they've always lived this bougie, like, you know, lower middle class income material life in America, and they think they're going to live, you know, live like a king or something in the Philippines. It's just not going to happen. So you got to have the right expectations for sure. No doubt. As far as money, but I mean, I built a small sort of kind of apartment-sized mini house before, like 1 bedroom, bathroom, and like an office type of thing. I built that for like, I can't remember now, maybe $3,000 or $4,000 US. And you know, if you hunker down and you're gonna like stay in the house type of thing, I mean, yeah, you can bring your bills down to like $500 a month or something like that. But you know, if you want to travel, go out to eat, buy clothes and stuff, you're gonna want to have a little bit more money, of course. Well, a lot more money. But yeah. So the budgets just vary. And like I said, I think $2,000 is a good overall budget for most people. For most average retirees, I should say. All right, well, I'm going to get going. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you're watching on the replay, thank you too. And thanks, guys, for subscribing. Thanks for your support. Please click the like button. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay positive and be good to each other. Let's encourage one another. Keep growing the channel. You guys be good. It's Captain Trucker. Have a good night. Have a good day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.